Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here in our special event organized by Amicom Business Park. What is Amicom Business Park? So it's an incubator under Amicom Foundation. The event is also supported by the University of Amicom Yogyakarta, Block 71, Informatics Engineering, Amicom, Indigo Hub, Certiva, Jogja Startup Day, and Niaga Hoster. Welcome to the virtual international ABP Tech Talk Show, the state of deep research startup trends in 2022. I'm Cecilia. I'm an English lecturer from the Department of Geological Engineering, Universitas Gadjah Mada, and I'll be the moderator of today's talk show. All right. And today, I am pleased to welcome our outstanding speakers. We have Professor Dr. M. Suyanto, MM, Director of Amicom University. We also have Bapak Sazali Johari, the Deputy Director of NUS Enterprise Block 71, Southeast Asia, and Bapak Arif Setianto, SSE, MT, PhD, the Vice Rector of Amicom. Good morning and welcome to the talk show. It's an honor to welcome all of you. All right. Before we begin with our first speaker, we would like to show you a video about Amicom Business Park so that all of you get an idea about what it is all about. So everyone, please enjoy the video of Amicom Business Park. All right, let us start our discussion sessions. Our first speaker is Bapak Arif Setianto, SSEMT, PhD, the Vice Rector of University of Amicom, Yogyakarta. So Pak Arif has been a PhD researcher for more than 10 years and he got his PhD degree from the University of Essex, England. And in addition to that, Pak Arif has got license and certification from the Amazon Web Series, AWS Academy Graduate. And today, he'll be sharing with us his expert opinion on the state of deep tech research. Good morning, Pak Arif.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for having me here.
All right. Thank you, Pak Arif. Now, I'd like to discuss about deep tech research with Pak Arif. But before that, I think it'll be good to tell our audience what deep tech is, because many of the participants here are in their first and third semester. And I think some of them are not from the computer science background either. So I think it's a good idea if I tell a little bit before going on into the discussion. So everyone, deep tech is like, to my understanding, it's like creating technology that doesn't exist to solve problems that already exist in people's daily life. So it's like we dig more about technology to go into the next level so we can be great innovators. So it basically refers to companies, typically startup company, founded on engineering innovation to make the world a better place. Yes, right now we have the expert who will further talk about it. So Pak Arif, would you like to share a bit about how is deep tech like today?
Okay, thank you very much, Ms. Cecile. I would like to make it that quite more simple. Actually, when I got the name of deep text, I was quite misunderstood about what deep text is about. Because for me personally, I'm a researcher in machine learning and especially in deep learning topics. And now, what about deep text? If we bring it about the deep text to the academic side, deep tech is probably all about the artificial intelligence, big data, and machine learning and deep learning technology that we are now quite often to hear that AI or artificial intelligence gonna eat the world, gonna replace some people's work, some people's jobs in the near future. And yes, this phenomena is already happened. If you see in, for example, in a banking business, for example, they currently already replaced some of the worker in the front office of the bank. They replace the cashier, for example, with the automatic teller machines or ATM, for example. This is what currently happen. And suddenly, when people use ATM, people move to the next technology, which is internet banking, for example, where inside the internet banking, we have security technology, for example, and AI technology to recognize who you are by using, for example, your fingerprint or your credential with a password and so on and so forth, and also your IP address and many stuff like that. And then the bank replaced the job of the teller, who usually asks who you are and where is your account book, what is your identity card, and so on and so forth. And it's suddenly replaced by the system in your mobile. And therefore, it will replace the function of the human in doing that job. And you guys, as a new generation, you have a lot of opportunity to create that kind of solutions. And another example that all of you use in your everyday life, for example, when you try to go to the warung or the restaurants, usually you go to the restaurant by yourself in the middle of the drizzle, in the middle of the rain. And now with GoFood or other grab food or other technology, then you just need to use your gadget and then let the food come to you. So there's a lot of things that people try to replace with the other way. And the effect of that is that some jobs, people said that 56% of the jobs currently exist will be exist in 10 years times. Does it going to be true? We don't know, but we know witnesses, some of them already gone. The job is already gone. But don't worry, there are a lot of new types of jobs that waiting for you as a new generation, as a young generations in the future. So basically, 65 or 60% of jobs going to be disappear, but there are 60% more of jobs going to be exist as a new types of job in the future. So don't be worried. We just need to adapt ourselves to the new condition due to the development of technology. Yes, I think. It's quite simple, but not really simple.
Okay, so in terms of academic, that mostly relate to artificial intelligence, big data, something like that, that we are getting more and more common, I guess, particularly after the pandemic with everything online. And I think the message also here for the young generation to grab the opportunity to offer solutions. So don't worry about the missing jobs, because some may be gone, but some others may emerge, and it's on you. I mean, the new kind of jobs will exist soon. Now, the next one is about the challenges, Pak Arif, and opportunities when conducting research in the deep tech field. What kind of challenges are they and opportunities that you may share?
Yes, there's a lot of research we are doing right now. For example, my last paper is about deepfake. Right now I'm in your screens, and I make a statement that, okay, everyone will please wait in your account that in shortly, in about 20 minutes, you will get $1 million in all of your account. And then you change my face with Jokowi face, for example, and then it's become a big problem. If I said that, it is not a big problem, but if you replace my face with Jokowi face, for example, it's going to be a big problem. So it's called a deep fake. It is a challenge. So current technology can, for example, make an artificial reality. So it's not really real. You can swap my face with anyone's face, and then I can use my voice to make anything, to say anything. And then later on, Jokowi will be, or any other political people will be, will have to responsible for that, but they actually don't do that. So this is the challenge. This is another challenge. So we have a research on that for example, combating the problem of deepfake, for example. Another thing is about the social media. Currently, 80% of the information is in social media instead of delivered by the professional broadcaster. But you guys, you broadcast everything. we have a mindset that everything in the media is right. It is true. But actually, it is not true. Sometimes it is not true, sometimes true. Then we have a challenge. The basic challenge is how to improve the literacy of everyone in the world. Because now the literacy is not only about writing and reading, but when you get the information like that from me, this is voice and video, will you still be able to trust me? Usually you then trust me, but don't trust me. You have to check and recheck everything that comes to you. And then what about the challenge in technology there? Okay, so in the technology side, in the research side, then we say, okay, we have a problem to combat the hoax, either in textual informations or in, say, in voice information and every information. We have to provide such tool that is enable people to recheck that the information that they have that comes to their gadget is trusted or not. There's a lot of challenge. Currently, 80% of information is in the social media. So, but there are a lot of opportunity on that. There is a challenge, but there are no opportunity. So every time we will have both of the challenge and the opportunity all together. Then we have an opportunity, for example, if you want to sell something, then you want to sense what people in Jogja or in Condong Catur or in Singapore, for example, gonna be like to buy in a couple of days. So you can provide certain types of certain type of things that you sell, and you will get more selling your selling goods as much as you want, if you can get or if you can mine the information what people really need. Yeah, this is the challenge and the opportunity in the near future.
I see. So deep fake is one issue in this deep tech, and because current technology can make up the current reality. All right, I'm interested actually to know more about literacy, as we know that most people just take it for granted that everything they read, everything they see on social media is something right. I guess Pak Arif implies that it's better for us not to trust what we read. Is that right? I mean, that's how I understand it, because not everything is right. But the thing is, like, even college students, even those in the, let's say, in the academic environment, do not really do, survey or try to dig information. They just take it for granted and it is right. So what do you think should be done to deal with this? Because even in reading and writing, our literacy is not that excellent, right? I mean, that's a fact. I know that's a sad fact, but that's the reality. So what's your thought about that, Pak Arif?
Yeah, I think we talk about the problem of literacy. I think it is a long-term development, long-term projects that we have to try to solve the problems since a very early stage of learning, where we have to tell all of our children or our early learner that they have to be a critical reader, critical information taker. So every information comes to them, we have to criticize, not necessarily to be a trust or not trust that, but we have to put in our mind that every information come to us is probably right and probably not right. Not necessarily to be totally not right, probably half right.
Mhm.
So this is what we need to change in terms of how our young learner learn to learn, how to learn. And I saw that our education systems need change in very short time from the very elementary for elementary stage. But the problem is that we have older generation, older generation, which is us, and we have been taught for a long time ago that we have to trust the information, and then we teach that mindset. This is about mindset. We teach that mindset to our younger and younger student, and this is the lack of reformation or development in the education side. So we need to we need to make a quick reformation in our education systems, and we have to do that. Otherwise, we will not be able to keep ourselves as a nations with current identity, because we will just vanish in the world, because all of the information will capture us and then change us to be the other creature. So the social media and internet has democratized, or what is the word that's fit for that? But not everyone can get information with the same opportunity. So remember when we back to 20 or 25 years ago, when we go to the class and the lecture teach us, then the lecture is the most understand people in the world, even in the world, not only in the class. That's what our mindset. Now, when the student come to the class, then probably the lecture is nothing, because they already access the information everywhere. Even when my young kid, 6-year-old, can search something about why the Pluto is not planet anymore, for example, and then their mom and their dad probably don't understand at all about that. So this is the democratization of the information right now, bring us to different stage of the society, which is we are not in the information society, and then people have to change their mindset, not only their mind, but their mindset has to be changes, and it is going to be hard if we are in 40 years or 50 years that we already live 40 years with different way of life, or different way of receiving the information. So yes, we have a big homework in changing our society, and in my point of view, we have to begin with the education systems.
I see. So focusing on the early education might be the solution for improving the literacy. And I truly agree with you. I think there's a gap between the older generation and the younger generation. I mean, how we were raised and how we see education and how students nowadays see it. All right, very interesting, Pak Arif. Now, what about this? You know, we've been in this pandemic situations almost 2 years. Will deep tech research be affected, or have it been affected, or how will it go after the pandemic? Will there be any changes after this?
I think we don't have a data how many percent it affected, but it is affected. It is affected. Just it is exists. The effect is really exists. Imagine we have this pandemic 20 or 10 years ago. Probably we won't be able to cope with how to educate our children, or how to educate our student in the university. No, we have Zoom. We have basically this was my research about how the video is submitting to the other side of the receiver of the information. So how the video coding works. It was we discussed about 10 or 15 years ago, and now we have a quite good video coding system. So we are able to receive the information partially from Singapore, me from Jogja, and my friend probably from the other side of the world. We are able to have a good communications. Yes, we cannot sense we cannot sense. We can hear your voice. We can see your face. We can see your probably some of our gesture, but yes, we cannot sense with our nose remotely. But it in some for some level, we still be able to cope with the communication. So this is the result. Actually, this is the result of how deep tech is working. And now one of my reasons is sensing how the people, what we call it, the people in front of the camera, they have their feeling, and their feeling will be expressed with your face and your gesture. So expression. I know that you're quite sad probably, and then I have to adapt my voice, for example. Then it's gonna be next technology that we will be able to put in place in order to improve the communication in the pandemic situation. And secondly, about how the people work. How the people work now. In 1 year, the world has taught us how to work remotely. Actually, remote worker is not new, but in these 2 years, everyone has learned and have to learn. And now we know that even I'm working from home, I can more productive. I have 5 papers in a year, and it never happened when we are not in pandemic. So I can improve my productivity, for example, because of remote working. So we know that remote working is, even though people still have a different opinion. Someone says that it has to be a hybrid. It can be 100%, and so on and so forth. But the idea is that in the future, the relationship between people will be different.
Yeah.
I sometimes make a joke. Probably now we never seen that people married by Zoom or by other remote married, but probably in the near future, probably we can marry. We can see people marry one bride in America and another bride in Europe, and it will be happens. It will happen. We just need to wait how the legal system is going to be moved on to the future. How now I still get paid from my work even I work from home. So just need a legal system to change that.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So the deep tech has really transformed how we communicate, how we work. Then we realize, turns out we have wasted a lot of time. Yes, but I mean, you said that after the pandemic, even you can be more productive by producing 5 papers in a year, something that you couldn't do in before this. So yes, thank you very much, Pak Arif, for the insight. I am optimistic that everyone in this room benefits from what you have just presented. So just a friendly reminder for all of you here, if you want to ask questions, please write in the chat box following the format from the committee. All right, so don't let the questions go off your mind. If you're not sure about the English, it's fine to write in Bahasa Indonesia. I might help translating the questions into English. All right, for the next sessions, we will get a deeper understanding about startup from our second speaker, Bapak Zazali Johari, the Deputy Director of NUS Enterprise, Block 71. You might be wondering, what Block 71 is, where it is, and how it is like. So don't worry. We have prepared the video of Block 71 to give you an overview about it. Okay, so everyone, please enjoy the video by Block 71.
Block 71 takes its name from its birthplace, the Block 71 building within the Ayer Rajah Industrial Estate in Singapore. It is there that NUS Enterprise, along with Singtel Innovate and the then Media Development Authority of Singapore, came together to avert its impending demolition through seizing the opportunity to establish a home and community for budding entrepreneurs. The success of the Block 71 initiative was further fueled by support from government agencies like Spring and JTC's speed to retrofit and rebuild nearby buildings to develop this entrepreneurial enclave into JTC Launchpad.
So Block 71 has been instrumental in the growth of holistics since the first day we started. Block 71 introduced us to our first few customers in Singapore, and when we expanded to Indonesia, they introduced us to our first few customers in Jakarta.
It has brought to us in a very short period of time a lot of connections and the ability in a single place to meet a lot of very interesting people.
Cosmo Health is a Singapore-based startup. We need to look beyond Singapore. So Block 71 offers us the opportunity to reach out to the whole of the China market, not only in terms of the market size, but also the resources that is available. So that's what brought us to Block 71.
Block 71 is an initiative by NUS Enterprise in collaborative and strategic partnerships with established corporations and government agencies. In every location, Block 71 embodies the spirit of entrepreneurship, collaboration, and partnership by bringing the research capabilities and technologies of the university together with the investment and business acumen of our partners to support the entrepreneurial journeys within the local geography and beyond.
All right. That's a little overview about Block 71. It sounds remarkable, doesn't it? So please sit tight, listen carefully, take notes, and let's make use of the precious knowledge we are about to get. And please help me to welcome Bapak Zazali Johari, the Deputy Director of NUS Enterprises Block 71 Southeast Asia. He will share about the trend of tech startup in 2022. Good morning, Pak Zazali.
Good morning, Ms. Cecilia. Happy to be here. Thank you for having me this morning.
It's a pleasure to meet you. How is Singapore?
Singapore is good. We are probably working a lot from home.
I see.
It has been the case. So I'm happy to be here. I know I did a similar event with Amicom in 2 years ago. It was a physical event. So I'm longing for it, but I'm still happy to be part of this event, even though I'm in Singapore.
Yeah, glad to have you here too. So, Pak Zazali, I would like to ask you with this first question. What is actually the current startup trends in 2021?
Thank you. Interesting question, Cecilia. I think before I talk about the trends, maybe I should go into a bit of, I think the most important topic, which is everybody talks nowadays, is about the pandemic, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we are only now in the second year,
Yeah.
2021. How times fly, but of course that is some of its downside. Like we cannot travel. I cannot be there in Jogja. Love to be there. We cannot go to office and mingle. But it also has its positive sides, right? I think Pak Ari just now mentioned about people meeting online. I think one of the important positive aspect for startups in 2021 is that there are more and more people now going online, right? And they are here to stay, right? Not just people as in consumers, but also companies, right? I think you have heard, I also have heard that some company chief executive officer will say that pandemic is the best thing that happened to them from a digital perspective. So now the companies are really digital, right? And because of that, a lot of people are doing businesses online.
Yep.
So to answer your question, I think the biggest trend in 2021 is the digital commerce part is even becoming bigger, right? I think Google, Temasek, and Bain and Company just released a report a few days ago about this, right? I think that underscores that. So in terms of the trends, so digital commerce typically, I would say, will have three main pillars. This also seeing a lot of trends going up in terms of the activity in startup. So number one is the e-commerce platform.
Yep.
Right? Number one is e-commerce. I think a lot of people will know what that is, right? There are big players out there like Lazada, like Shopee,
Yep.
you know, Tokopedia, and so on and so forth, right? And there are also small players, and the big players also allow digital merchants to go on, right? So there's a lot of people are selling online. This could be small and medium enterprises. This could be home businesses. This could be corporates, right? So there's a lot of activity in startup side around that, right?
Yeah.
Because people are online, people are not buying online, so there's a lot of boom inside the space, right? A lot of startup growing in that space, and also the side, what I call it, peripheral businesses. How do you put your presence online? How do you market your product online? Because people are not going to your shops anymore, right?
No.
Because of the pandemic, and people with big shops who still want to have people to come and visit their shops. How do you do online to offline? So all around the e-commerce space pillar. So there's a lot of trend to make sure that from a startup perspective, the digital consumers are captured, and then the physical customers in some countries we still can go to the shop and buy, and how is this transferred to digital commerce as well, right? So that's one pillar, right? The other pillar is that once you buy this product, especially the physical product, you need to deliver them. That's where the logistics, the transport and delivery portion comes in, right? So there's a lot of trends and a lot of interest in that space, right? The big guys are getting bigger, right? The Super app, the Grab and the Gojek are getting bigger in that space, and they're also going to the commerce in that space, right? And because of this delivery and so on, food delivery suddenly become a very big space, right? I'm sure almost everybody now know how to order food online ever since the pandemic, right? Personally, I wasn't ordering online a lot for food. I started it ever since the pandemic, since last year, right? So it's very common. And then cloud kitchens coming up just to serve this trend. So there's a lot of trend in that second pillar, right? So you sell things online, you need to deliver it. And the third important pillar is how do you pay online? So that's the trend. So there's a lot of activities along fintech space, right? There are big players the usual ones, like Indonesia, few. In the region, there are also a few. But then, how do you integrate this together with all the other players, right?
Mhm.
So in a way, that digital commerce triangle, the e-commerce platform, you have the delivery platform on one side, and then you have the payment platform on the other side. Frankly, this was already happening before COVID.
Yep.
But I think now, because of COVID, people see it more, adoption is more,
Right.
people are buying online, and people are not just doing it once to try, because I can still go to the shop last time, but now they will continue to do so.
You're
So I
right.
think that sort of sums up the landscape today.
Right. So the trend mostly goes around the online businesses, right? I remember that I once read a book that things like this, like online kind of things, will happen in the future, but we never expect that it happens this soon. Right?
Correct.
It's happening even before the future comes.
Yeah.
Now the next question is, after this pandemic, when everybody is getting more and more common to use this digital kind of things, have future startup trends, will future startup trends change?
Yeah, I think it was changed because now how do you make it better? How do you invent a new business model that nobody has thought about?
Yeah.
Right. So I think as much as there's a challenge and also opportunity for those audience people out there who wants to venture into the space, because there are a lot of big players in this space. How do you create a particular niche, right? Is it tackling just a home-based business, or is it just targeting people selling in vegetables in the market and so on? So I think this will continue. These are some areas we still not developed yet. These are still some challenges need to be overcome. But I think that also means opportunities, right? But also, I would like to say the other side, right, which I've not covered. Things like online, the travel industry, startup related to the travel industry, right? So this, of course, they are badly hit because of the pandemic, especially in 2020. I think 2021 for bigger countries in Indonesia, because domestic travel is still possible, maybe has picked up. Which I from Singapore, I'm very jealous or envy, because I cannot travel anywhere in Singapore. So I'm just stuck there. But I think that's continued to be a challenge. So again, every challenge for startup, there's an opportunity. How do you overcome that? Get ready when the borders are open. Right? When the borders are open, the normal way of traveling, clearing immigration, and so on maybe has to change. So that challenge will be there from tourist or traveler perspective, but it also could be good opportunities for people who have interesting ideas, innovative ideas, want to venture as a startup into that space.
Right. Yes. I hope we are all can be as free as how we traveled before soon.
Yes,
Okay.
I hope so.
So Pak Zazali, there's one question representing from the college students' point of view about startup, because there's a trend in the college students nowadays that they want to be entrepreneurs. In my time, we mostly end up answering, if somebody asks what do you want to be in the future, that we ended up saying like being a civil servant or being an employee in a big company or something like that. But now the trend has shifted. Like I see more and more college students say, I want to be an entrepreneurs, and startup has been one of the, choices. Now the question is, what if they have this young generation, they have good product, or let's say they have good innovations, but they understand that there are abundant of competitors in the market. So what to do? How to deal with such situation? How to, maintain the confidence that there is still opportunity for them to succeed?
Interesting question. Maybe I relate a bit to my personal story a bit, because
Sure.
I was also involved in startups, Miss Cecilia. I was involved in startups in the internet.com era in 2000.
Okay.
long time ago, and even now, right? And then lately, I was in corporate, and then I came back and into the startup scene before I joined Invest Enterprise about 3 years ago. So I totally understand your viewpoint. My first startup scene in 2000 when I joined, I was from IBM and so on. My parents questioned me, right? What are you doing, right?
Yeah.
You're working this company, what are you doing, right? But never mind, we just push the challenge and so on and so forth. So we worked together as a few friends, but it did not succeed as much as we want to. So we went back to the corporate. But nowadays, you're right. The society is more receptive about startups here,
Yeah.
right? I think parents are more supportive of their student going startups in, and I think number one. Number two, big companies are more open to working with startups, to trying new innovative things with startups. Previously, as a big company, if you are a startup, they will not even entertain you because you're not sure whether you will deliver. Rather buy from the big brands, right? Rather than buy startup. So now corporates are willing to buy that as well, right? As well as government agencies, right? They want innovative system, they creating initiatives and all. So I think now is the right time as a student to go in, right? So, but you say about competition, right? Of course, there will always be competition.
Yeah.
But the main thing I would advise is number one is to really understand who your customer is and what you're selling, right? And not think that whatever I have is the best. And if you don't buy it, then you don't understand me, right? In the end, the customer will be the one who buy it. The customer must be convinced enough that they are willing to part their money and buy your services. You cannot say the problem is the customer is always right. So listen to them, right? And we're willing to change if you think that it's not right. So then come to competition. So competition, there'll be other people talking to the same customer,
Yeah.
right? So why would this customer talk to you and not the other guy, right? So there must be something innovative in a startup,
I see.
right? Innovative means nobody has done yet. To me, innovative can be two ways. One is a business model. Business model. So the way you put together your products, the way you build an ecosystem of partners, right? So your agri-tech, the way you work with the farmers, the way you work with the people buying the products, the farmers and so on, has not been done before, right? There's a lot of people out there just want to cut the middleman, but I think it's not enough. But you need to be more innovative enough, because if you're not innovative, the competition can just replace you, right?
Yeah.
So another way of innovation is technology innovation. This relates back to the topic of Pak Arif, the first speaker, right? The deep tech portion, right? So if you have a deep tech in your startup, it will not be easily copied because it's IP, research, and so on, right? Then you would have that edge over the competition, right?
Yeah.
And good news is that there's a lot of universities in Indonesia. I'm sure WICOM is one of them as well. Even NUS, we are offering our IP and research to startups, to corporates, right? And willing to license them out, right? Most universities, NUS is one of them. I'm sure WICOM may be in a way. They have a lot of research, but they're also trying to commercialize that, right? And now with open innovation, a lot of offices are open for startups to come to these universities, to find a customer, and you think this particular technology can do, work together, get the license, and then implement that. So so innovation in business model or technology innovation. That's one way you get the competition.
All right. It's very interesting, Pak Zazali, that you shared your personal opinion that you once in 2000 had a internet.com, and even your parents didn't have that much confidence about what you were doing at that time. I guess that goes back to what I have discussed with Pak Arif. That's different generations see things differently. Okay, so the innovations that I would like to highlight what Pak Zazali has just mentioned about the innovation. So what you need to stress on the young generations is the business model and also the technology, the use of deep tech. Okay, now, since I'm in the academic field and I wonder to know more about your insight of open online courses. You know, it's getting very popular. Like it or not, we cannot run away from it. We have to use it and we start to enjoy it even way better than we saw it in the past. So the question is, how important will their impacts be of this open online courses in your opinion?
Yeah, I think open online courses is also another sort of growing industry or in the startup space in what we call EdTech, right? Ever since because of COVID. So classes cannot continue physically, schools have to be closed, so we do online courses. But I think there's still a lot of areas to work on in this education space, right? Because again, the innovation stuff, this again, my personal opinion, because putting your content, physical content and moving it online will not be sufficient to excite the interest and making it different, right? Because you don't see the people, you can't really, you know, split people into groups and have a very interactive thing. So on. Yes, there are platforms that can make it possible, but I think I'm still looking, but maybe there are some technologies out there that I'm not aware of, that, how you can use this to disrupt the way you conduct courses. It could be hybrid, right? So videos, just interaction and so on, rather than just lectures, right? Because it's one thing to sit in the classroom for half an hour, 1 hour, but it's another thing to sit in front of a screen for half an hour, 1 hour.
Yeah.
Where you can easily pull out other screens and look at other things.
Right.
Yeah. But I think it's here to stay. One area is upcoming in terms of EdTech. Going back to the report I mentioned along Google, Temasek and Bain, I think that's one of the particular interesting sector EdTech looking for further growth.
Yeah. So even though we have started to enjoy this kind of platform of online learning, but something is missing, right? By the excitement kind of thing, it's not as how it is in the real classes. Okay, I guess this might be the last questions, but for the young students here who are mostly on their first and third semester. So in your personal thought, what should the young people consider before stepping into the world of startup company? What should they consider? What should they understand, or general things that they need to know first before stepping into this startup kind of things?
Okay. I think there's a lot of centers or programs out there to help them with the program, right? I think Amicom have ABP, NUS has Block 71 and so on. So reach out to these centers to help you in your journey, right? But as a person, I think your mindset need to be very ready. Be very ready. You always look nice on the outside from other startups, but it's not an easy journey. It's not an easy journey. So be open, be ready to put 150% into it, and be open that you will not be successful at the first try. Most of the time, I mean, there's a lot of stories out there, right? A lot of the successful startup entrepreneurs, this is not their successful company, is not their first company, right? So the thing is open, learn to the customer, put a lot of energy to it, and be willing to change and go with what the customer wants. Yeah.
Okay, so be ready to fail, right? I think that might work. So it's not imagining the success first. It's very easy to think about success, but dealing with failure may not be easy for most of us. So yes, if you are interested in stepping into this startup company, be ready to fail in the first place. Yes, the more failures, then the closer you are to success. I think that's the point, Pak Zazali. Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So thank you for sharing and improving our comprehension of startups. This is really an eye-opening. If you have questions, just another reminder, feel free to write in the chat box and where the question goes to. All right. Now let's go on to our third speaker. We are having the Honorable Professor Dr. M. Suyanto, MM, the Rector of Amikom University. So Prof. Yanto is a movie producer and a writer known for Battle of Surabaya. It's very famous, right? I'm sure everybody here is familiar with that. He's also a professor of strategic management, marketing, and e-business. So sounds really fascinating, doesn't it? All right. So before having Prof. Yanto here, we are going to show you another video of Amikom. So please enjoy the video.
Universitas Amikom Yogyakarta merupakan salah satu universitas di Yogyakarta yang memiliki komitmen dalam memajukan pendidikan di Indonesia. Dengan visi menjadi perguruan tinggi unggulan dunia dalam bidang ekonomi kreatif yang berbasis entrepreneurship, Universitas Amikom Yogyakarta selalu berupaya untuk memimpin kemajuan global pendidikan melalui pengembangan pengajaran, penelitian yang menumbuhkan kepemimpinan kewirausahaan di semua organisasi dan masyarakat. Amikom memiliki 3 fakultas dan 1 program pasca sarjana. Program pasca sarjana memiliki 2 program studi, yaitu program studi teknik informatika S2 dan program studi teknik informatika PJJ S2. Sedangkan fakultas jenjang S1 terdiri dari Fakultas Ilmu Komputer, Fakultas Sains dan Teknologi, dan Fakultas Ekonomi dan Sosial. Fakultas Ilmu Komputer banyak memberikan penawaran dalam jurusan komputer yang memiliki prospek tinggi dalam dunia kerja dan wirausaha. Program studi tersebut diantaranya adalah S1 Informatika, S1 Sistem Informasi, S1 Teknologi Informasi, S1 Teknik Komputer, D3 Teknik Informatika, dan D3 Manajemen Informatika. Fakultas Sains dan Teknologi memiliki program studi diantaranya S1 Arsitektur, S1 Geografi, dan S1 Perancangan Wilayah dan Kota. Sedangkan Fakultas Ekonomi dan Sosial memiliki program studi diantaranya S1 Ekonomi, S1 Kewirausahaan, S1 Akuntansi, S1 Ilmu Komunikasi, S1 Hubungan Internasional, dan S1 Ilmu Pemerintahan. Dalam menjalankan kegiatan pelayanan mahasiswa dan akademis, Amikom menyediakan semua sarana dan prasarana dengan semaksimal mungkin, mulai dari puluhan sistem informasi akademis yang saling terintegrasi, ruang kelas yang kondusif, hingga lebih dari 17 lab komputer, hardware, serta broadcasting yang memadai. Selain pendidikan formal dengan kurikulum yang terstruktur, Amikom juga memberikan kesempatan bagi mahasiswa untuk mencari pengalaman kegiatan melalui organisasi, baik organisasi keilmuan atau komunitas. Dengan adanya organisasi dan komunitas ini, mahasiswa dapat menyempurnakan dan mengembangkan ilmu yang didapat melalui bangku kuliah. Di samping itu, Amikom juga memberikan kesempatan bagi mahasiswanya untuk menimba pengalaman dengan cara magang secara langsung pada badan usaha milik Amikom, baik bidang film produksi film dan animasi, broadcasting, maupun perusahaan hardware dan software. Sebagai tempat kuliah yang kompetitif dalam berbagai bidang, maka Universitas Amikom Yogyakarta selalu mendorong mahasiswanya untuk selalu mengikuti semua kompetisi yang diadakan internal maupun eksternal. Dari sini diharapkan mahasiswa dapat termotivasi untuk terus berkarya dan mengembangkan kemampuan diri. Di samping itu, untuk membangun jiwa kewirausahaan, Amikom tidak segan-segan mengadakan kegiatan entrepreneurship untuk mendorong mahasiswanya berwirausaha. Mari bersama-sama kita belajar, berkreasi, dan mengembangkan kemampuan diri sekaligus menimba pengalaman yang berharga. Bertahun-tahun institusi ini menggali dan mengembangkan kemampuannya untuk dapat menghasilkan lulusan yang berkompeten, kreatif, dan profesional unggulan bangsa. Mari bergabung bersama kami di Universitas Amikom Yogyakarta. Untuk informasi lebih lanjut, kunjungi www.amikom.ac.id atau pmb.amikom.ac.id. Universitas Amikom Yogyakarta, Creative Economy Park.
All right, that's a little overview about Amikom, the right place for anybody who is particularly interested in the computer science technology, right? And for your information, this event today is also supported by the Department of Informatics Engineering, Amikom University. All right, now we are on the last session of the discussions. We will have our third speaker. So anyone please help me to welcome Professor Dr. M. Suyanto, MM, who will be sharing with us his expert opinion on the topic on creative economy. Good morning, Prof. Yanto.
Morning, Mbak Cecilia.
I've heard a lot of great stories about you, Pa. It's good to finally see you in person.
Yes. Okay, I think, please, Mbak Cecilia.
All right. So to give the audience a thought about economy creative, I think I can sum up a little bit that it is the income earning potential of creative activities and ideas. I hope I made it right. But anyway, we have the expert here, so don't waste the time. Let's just start asking Prof. Yanto, about economy creative. So what is creative economy like now, Pak?
Okay, thank you, Miss Cecilia. I think a good question. I would like to share my PowerPoint, okay? Because
sure, please do.
Long time no see you, Pak Sazali. Okay, Creative Economy Park, Sporting Research and so Suyanto, good, smart, and handsome, like Pak Sazali. Okay, COVID and crisis is turning point, and China's language is Wei Qi, we danger, Qi as opportunity, and Islamic how to manage a crisis, turning point, second university, the third university or the fourth university. Amikom choose the fourth university. What is the fourth university? Education, and Pak Sazali said as open innovation. I think very interesting. Yeah. Research not only for research, for Scopus, but for commercialization. Yeah. I think Pak Sazali said. Very interesting. This is the fourth generation university. Okay, human development of the fourth generation university as a professional, scientist, entrepreneur, and artist. Yeah, it's like me. And this is University Universitas Amikom Yogyakarta. Yeah. Very interesting. 2 points is very important: education excellence and research excellence. Education excellence is to develop our student to be art scientist, professional, entrepreneur, and artist. 20% of our student, our alumni is entrepreneur. I think it's a big of objective our university. And research of excellence, creative and economic park brand. Our objective, our research more than an aircraft price. I think very interesting. So because limited time, I present quickly, Mbak Cecilia. State budget atau anggaran pendapatan belanja negara Republik Indonesia 2020 1,006 triliun rupiah, and creative economy product, for example, Pokemon, $105 billion. I think 1.470 triliun, yeah, more than state budget, I think, yeah. And Hello Kitty, 1,183 trillion rupiah, yeah, more than a state budget, I think, yeah. Mickey Mouse, Star Wars, yeah. Pokemon, game and animation and merchandise. Hello Kitty as animation, game and merchandise. Yeah. Winnie the Pooh from book, animation and merchandise. Mickey Mouse, animation, merchandise. Very interesting. So this is our focus for research, because a big opportunity. Yeah. Okay, this is 17 subsector of creative economy. Yeah. And World University of Real Impact, top 50 industrial application. Yeah. National University of Singapore, number 11, KS. Congratulations, Pak Sajali. I think it's amazing. And top 15 industrial application, Minerva, MIT, California Institute of Technology, Stanford University, and number 33 is Universitas Amikom Yogyakarta. I think it's very important. What university with real impact? It's different with KS. KS based on academic performance. What universities based on real impact for industry or for society. And this is Universitas Amikom Yogyakarta, 33rd place. I think, yeah, amazing for us. Yeah, 5-star for education excellence, yeah, and academic 4-star. Yes, and this is our alumni. Princeton University has 1% alumni as entrepreneur. Harvard 30%, MIT 50%, yeah. Amikom 29%, I think, and Stanford University 29%. We hope Amikom 30%, yeah, alumni as entrepreneur. Yeah. This is our objective of education excellence. Yeah. And research excellence, the creative economy part. What is creative economy part? We have commercial enterprise, community, university, and we collaborate with Silicon Valley Innovation Center, collaborate with the Hollywood company, and we collaborate with Wall Street listed and Wall Street company listed and Wall Street. This is our objective for research. So we can open innovation, I think. Yeah. This is creative economy part. Yeah. It's work environment with the strategic objective. Blah 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 blah. It's like creative economy. Amikom creative economy. This is animation for research, I think. Yeah. Me and Pak Ferry, and we support incubator. I think Amicom Business Park, one of the best incubator accelerator 500 from Silicon Valley, National University of Singapore, Pak Sajali, Y Combinator from Silicon Valley. Fast forward, Silicon Valley brings Portugal, Hong Kong, Canada, and so on. And heads from Polandia, and ABP, Amicom Business Park from Universitas Amicom Yogyakarta. I think congratulations, Pak Sajali. You are the best incubator accelerator. We collaborate with Silicon Valley Innovation Center. We collaborate with this is our research. We collaborate with Silicon Valley Innovation Center, and especially in big data and predictive analytics, artificial intelligence and machine learning, augmented reality and virtual reality, autonomous vehicle, blockchain, Internet of Things. What is Silicon Valley?
Hello there. My name is Andre Kunov, and I am the founder and president of Silicon Valley Innovation Center. I've started this company about 9 years ago with a single mission: to connect the large established companies from all over the world with the local innovation ecosystem of Silicon Valley. We bring executives from all parts of the world to Silicon Valley to introduce them to new technologies, innovation, and opportunities to transform their business in some incredible ways that they would never think about before.
Being here and having gone through the program with you and meeting all these companies, we actually see a lot more of the details involved.
It's a new way of thinking. They gave us some insight.
I was really impressed how fast is blockchain getting into the industry and how useful it's going to be.
And how we can drive this digital transformation in our company.
There are a lot of opportunities out there.
An unforgettable experience.
It was nice to see companies come in and sit down with you and literally, how can we help you?
You can actually take a lot of these key learnings, these real details, real life situations, and try to synthesize that into something that would work and get
To understand how your business is going to look like 10 years from now, what kind of technologies you would like to use in order to transform your business, let's connect and talk about how Silicon Valley Innovation Center can help you and your company.
Okay. We collaborate with Nelnet International, and tomorrow, okay, and we collaborate with Hollywood company. This is 2020 Oscar prediction best animated film is our film. We collaborate with 5 studio. This is number 20. Where is Annie Frank? And finally, I think we collaborate with Walking Dog, Doghouse Film, Pullman Film Gang, and so on. And MSV Studio from our studio at Universitas Amicom Yogyakarta. And finally, maybe I would like to share the trailer 20. The Le Pacte, distributed by Le Pacte. Where is Annie Frank? Top 20 Oscar prediction.
What are you waiting for, Anne? Open your presents.
Oh, that's so lovely. When you write, who do you actually write to?
To myself, of course.
I prefer to think of my diary as a girl, a best friend. Her name will be Kitty.
Kitty?
I like it.
Come down, Anne. I'm waiting for you.
Is he a boy from class? Of course.
Who are you talking to, Anne?
Up until a year ago, everyone was in love with me.
Everyone?
It was all so wonderful. Then everything changed.
We're leaving.
They told everyone we were to blame for all the world's problems.
This secret apartment is going to be our hiding place. For every person we welcome is a good chance we are saving a life. You could use those characters in your head. Make them fight your war somehow.
This young lady here named Kitty is looking for Anne Frank.
Have you seen her?
Anne did not write this diary so that you could worship her. What is important,
Get in the truck.
do everything you can to save one single soul from harm. Just one soul.
What do you see, Peter?
I see the Allied forces. They're coming to liberate us. And you?
I see angels, Peter.
Wow.
Okay, I think that's all, Miss Cecilia.
Yeah, that sounds really interesting, but I couldn't wait to see the whole version of the movie, right? Anyway, it's good to know. It's really fascinating to know that Amicom really put concerns not only on the educations, but also on the entrepreneurship, because like you said, even Profianto is not just an academician, but also an entrepreneur, an artist too, right? But so I'm sure all of you here are proud to be the big family of Amicom. All right, let's go on into the next sessions. We will have the question and answer. And there's already one question here. Hold on, let me read. So the first question goes to Pak Arif. And the question is, how deep tech shape quantum supremacy through general public use? Is using smaller and lightweight photonic computer circuitry might be viable option on this take?
Yeah. Okay. Can I answer now or waiting for all of the questions?
Please, Pak Arif, you may answer it right away.
Okay, thank you very much for the question. I think, it's quite a hardware question. In 2005, there are more law, which is talk about the development of the processor, which is twice every years. And yes, of course, there's going to be a lot of development we can cope with, such as more complicated computations, like what in deep learning work currently with the current processor. With the help of a GPU, we can cope with around 100 million parameters in training of deep learning. With the number of training, the hardest the hardest computing, like in a computer visions, we use around 13 millions of data to fit to the network. With the quantum supremacy, I saw in literature, it was developed by Google and IBM's. They will use not only binary, but they use a qubit, which is, in short, it will be able to compute more number, and I'm sure with that kind of possibility, we will be able to improve the algorithms much better. However, it will open the new threat in security, for example. Currently, if we have, for example, a secure password in a public key cryptography, for example, we can make what you call it, password guessing with brute force, for example, with a certain number of guessing per seconds. But with quantum supremacy, you will have much more challenge on that, because people suddenly can maybe have 10 times faster in guessing the password. So we will have a lot of challenge in that sense. And in terms of the implementation of the quantum processor of the qubit, yes, we will have a faster and also more powerful, but it will be able to implement in the big computation like in deep learning, but also we open the possibility to make all of the device smaller, so we will see more device that we can use in our body as a part of the computation. So we can bring in the fiction film, for example, people can inject a processor in their mind. It won't be able to do it very short, but we can put wearable computing in more area of implementations. Yeah, this again, it is my opinion. No one has proven right now, but if we see the development since 2000 to 2020, the computation power has been expanding in the lots of number of possibilities. And if you see in 2015, there was a breakthrough in implementation of deep learning. Deep learning basically was developed a long time ago, since 1950 or 1955, with the form of neural network. And it was not working because the limitation of the processor at the time. But in 2010, 2015, we have our processor quite better, or much better than 1960. Then we are able to train our neural network with thousands or even millions of parameters. And now we have seen that the performance of the deep learning nearly touch the performance of the humans in terms of, for example, recognize the face, recognize the a lot of things. But again, technology is never ending. We still have a lot of challenge in the future. And yeah, probably the quantum technology, quantum supremacy will be part of the solutions. Thank you.
Thank you, Pak Arif. Since we are running out of time, I'm going to ask the next questions. 2 questions at once for Pak Zazali, so you can just answer it also both at once. So the first question is about the process of research downstream from the academicians in NUS to NUS enterprise. That will be the first question. And then the second is about questioning, is there any place to accommodate collaboration between lecturers and startup in Circle Block 71, perhaps in the platform of research? And if there is, how the mechanism will be? Yes, Pak Zazali, time is yours.
Thank you, Cecilia, for that question. And thank you to Taufik Alfianto for that nice question. Right? So I'll take the first question. What's the process that we convert research from NUS to NUS Enterprise? Actually, we have a specific program for that in NUS Enterprise. It's called GRIP, or Graduate Research Innovation Program, GRIP. The target is more for researchers in NUS who's doing their research, who are interested in spinning off their research into a new venture. a new startup, right? So of course they will have to pitch that idea to a panel. Then once successful, we will then sort of incubate them for 3 months, where we will have instructors and teach them how to convert their technology into a business model. We ask them to validate it against the market, and we ask them to start looking for customers and so on, right? And actually, once successful, NUS will put money into this startup, right? And then we will also assign venture managers, sort of a mentor to help them get through. We will also assign what we call commercial champions, who are outside experts, to guide them and introduce them to companies outside. So at the end of this program, we have a new startup model is validated against the market, the opportunities for customers, and so on and so forth, right? And then once ready, then NUS Enterprise will incubate that, and not just in Singapore. If they're interested to go overseas, we will then bring them to all our Block 71 locations, right? So we're doing this for the past few years now. So quite a number of startups. I think, in fact, there's another run that's going to just complete in December, just targeted to help the researchers to spin off their research ideas into companies. Okay, so I hope that question. And then the second question is, how do the researchers or lecturers, right, in Indonesia collaborate with the startups in Indonesia, for example? There's not exactly a current program or platform, but I think we are open to discuss that. As I mentioned during my slot just now, is that it's important for startups to have innovative ideas and also innovative technical solutions, right? But the challenge is always been how ready is that research in terms of the technology translation level, right? And ready for the market. Those students out there will know there are various levels, right? From early stage, tested in the lab, tested in customer environment, and ready to market. So if there are interesting research that are more or less ready for commercial use, we can always discuss and see how we can sort of match the research ideas with the startups in our community. So open to discuss that. I think, Taufik, if you have specific idea and so on, feel free to reach out to me or our Block 71 team to discuss further. Thank you, Cecilia.
All right, thank you, Pak Sazali. Now the last question from Mas Taufik Alfianto to Professor Suyanto. The question is, the creative and digital economy greatly contributes to economic growth. And how will students contribute to the future of creative economy? I'm sorry, Prof. Yanto, could you please turn on your mic?
Sorry, Ms. Cecilia. Yeah, I think a good question. Yeah. And for entrepreneur or for artists, yeah, I think it's very interesting. For artists, yeah, you can as a photographer. Sanga Parks, the revenue per year is 5 billion rupiah, 5 miliar rupiah per tahun. I think very interesting. Illustrator, for example, Marceli Calter, 14 billion rupiah per year, 14 miliar rupiah per tahun. Or you are as a videographer, it's like Alexander Kurtz, 87 billion rupiah. Yeah, I think 87 miliar per tahun, per year. I think it's very interesting. If you are as artist or YouTuber, I think it's like Ria Ricis or Atta Halilintar. Yeah. And if you are an entrepreneur, yeah, owner of startup, I think first startup is mental state, number one. Yeah. Mental state. Attitude, positive attitude, I think is very interesting. Positive attitude changes everything. Second, you can create your dream or your future. The third, you choose a niche market. For Amicom, the majority of university, second generation university, Amicom, the fourth generation university. I think the niche market. And then you try to make 10 times of technology. For example, MSW Studio, business model, Pak Sazali said, is very important. For film producer, film for Indonesian market. But we are film for worldwide. Local story, Hollywood technology, and we combine. I think it's a niche market, very interesting. And then how to maintain domination. Yeah, there's a first about networking, very important. We collaborate with Hollywood, very interesting, networking. The second, scale of economy, low cost. And the third is branding. I think that's all. Mr. Cecilia, thank you for your attention. Peace be upon you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam. Thank you very much, Prof. Yanto. So time flies. I'm sure we want to ask more and more, but the time doesn't allow us. Now, finally, we have to come into the closing part of the talk show. I would like to express my gratitude to Amicom Business Park, the University of Amicom, Block 71, NUS Enterprises, the Department of Informatics Engineering, who have organized the event. I would also like to thank the three amazing speakers who have shared your knowledge, your experiences, which I believe will mean a lot for all of us here. So thank you, Prof. Yanto. Thank you, Pak Sazali. Thank you, Pak Arif.
Yeah. Thank you, Pak
Yes,
Sazali.
and let's go into the photo session. I'm sure we don't want to miss this moment, right? So let's have the photo session. I will count it from here, right? So in 3, 1, 2, 3, and then on 3, I will take the picture. All right, so here we go. 1, 2, 3. All right, let's do it again. One more time. Smile, show your happy face. Okay. All right, 1, 2, 3. There we go. All right. Representing the committee, I'm Cecilia, the moderator of the event. I would like to express my appreciation to both audience and speakers who make this event runs well. We would like also to apologize if things didn't work as planned. For sure, we will use it for improvement. And I hope you don't mind if I end this with a powerful quotation that I took from Richard Branson, particularly for the young generation. So here is the quotation. If somebody offers you an amazing opportunity that you think you cannot do, just say yes. Just say yes and learn how to do it later. So thank you, everyone. See you at another event and bye for now. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Terima kasih Pak Yanto.